Hi everyone, Greg from RPM Technik. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Starting to do a new type of video that we've not done before. We always have so much going on behind the scenes, so we thought let's do a behind the scenes video because people might find it interesting. Fingers crossed we'll get more than 2 viewers. Anyway, we'll try and do it once a week and yeah, pop in the comments if there's something you see in the video that you like. We'll start off in the glorious sales department, and on my left here is Alex Cooper. Alex is really smiley because he just sold a Cayman GTS.
Yeah, good day in our books.
It doesn't get old, does it?
No.
But,
never.
We had a good weekend, didn't we?
Yes, we spent at Brands Hatch, Tim Harvey very kindly hosting us to go and watch these go very fast, and touring cars and Jeanettes, a bit of everything, so yeah, good weekend.
So now you've got hankering for one of these?
Yeah, I need to own one.
Would you have that one?
Yeah, definitely.
You've got to say that.
Yeah, I know, I'm forced to say that. But no, we spec'd it from new, which is really cool. So
Yeah.
we've got a lot involved with it. We know every mile it's done. It's got perfect spec, blah, 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 all that usual. So yeah, it's perfect.
Exactly, yeah. Lift, club sport, 2 pedals,
Carbon roof,
goes as fast as it can, and covered in cling film.
Yes, yeah, it always helps.
PPF all round. We'll continue to do a sales thing once a week, but let's go into the workshops. So this one's just being prepared for sales. This is one we sold about 12 months ago. So this had a Manthey conversion done in September 2021. So that was done at just under 3,000 miles. So it's now done just over 8,000, just had a major service. Still got Porsche warranty on this one as well, which is pretty cool. And that's one of the USPs of the Manthey upgrades. So just come back in for sale and just been inspected and is absolutely perfect. So Ozzy's just cleaning her up, getting ready for sale. So if we have a look through into the main workshop, we've got wheels galore here, waiting for refurb and new tyres and stuff. So this one is a 2018 GT3 RS, which we put some suspension on. If you come and have a look in the wheel arch in here, you can see, so this one's running on the Manthey KWs, and it's also got the surface transforms discs. So end of season, so it's October at the moment obviously, it's having a check over and a setup. Customers actually asked for it to be lowered a little bit, so going a little bit more aggressive on the setup. Up here we've got, on Danny's ramp, we've got a Boxster, which unfortunately someone's put water in where the oil should go, which, bad idea, doesn't work very well. So if you can see any smoke around at the moment, it's because Danny's clearing out the remnants of it, and we'll see what's left. And then this one's actually quite an interesting one. So it's a 996 C4S, I think. And Neil is replacing the exhaust on it. So this car, a long time ago, probably about 10 years ago, has had I'd call it a modification, but if you come and have a look up in here, it's had a mod to the sports exhaust. And this is what it looks like after about 10 years of being on the road. And so what typically happens with these is if you come underneath and have a good close look underneath here, you see these exhaust seams split, and then eventually the exhaust boxes blow. So Neil's just put on a brand new shiny new one, well done that man, with no seam here, so road sort of grime and debris doesn't annihilate this seam, and then they split, so hopefully she'll be good for another 20 years. Sorry to get in your way, mate.
No worries.
And then we've got a 991 in for a high pressure fuel pump, so they've got 2 fuel pumps, one in the tank and one on the engine itself. So the high pressure fuel pump on the back, which supplies the direct fuel injection rails, has just been replaced, or is in the process of being replaced. But yeah, let's have a look in the engine room, see what they've got going on in there. So this is the engine room. I always think it's got lovely lighting in here, always makes you look good. Anyway, a hive of activity we have got going on. 964 3.8 conversion over here. We've got a 930 turbo there, another 964 engine being built here. Just this one over here is quite a nice one. So we've got a cup car engine from a 991, which is having a refresh. So engine hours on these particular cars isn't very long, so they have to have regular refreshes. The engine in the corner over there, which is upside down, is another 964 3.8 engine, which is just coming to a conclusion, and that will shortly be making its way to a dyno to see what she's putting out. The engine on the top here is not one we've built, it's been built elsewhere, so it's actually having a bit of bit of remedial work, shall we say. And this is actually its transmission. So it's from a 1970 2.2. So Dave's just stripped down all the components, measuring, checking, cleaning, making sure we know what parts are required, and then she'll be back in for final assembly. And then if you watch your step, Sam, you don't fall over. So through here we've got a car which I sold a few years ago actually. So we used to actually call this one our motorsport room, but because as the business has grown and developed and we've expanded into more units, which I'll come on to in a second, we've now using this ramp for servicing as well. But I thought to show you this particular 996, which is an interesting one. So this car, I think we sold about 6 years ago. We sold it back into Germany, but I was actually quite surprised when I saw it back in the car park, because it's clearly made its way back into an owner's hands in London. But whilst the car looks fairly innocuous from the outside, it's actually a GT3, D-winged, and it's got a twin turbo. So I think it's about 600 brake, this one, isn't it, Dan?
I think something like that.
So mental. But it just, when it's parked by the side of the road, it doesn't look like anything other than a 3.4 996 C2. But yeah, what's it actually having done?
It's having the KW shocks overhauled.
Okay, yeah, they've been on a while, I
clutch
suppose.
and flywheel.
Yeah.
Major service.
Yeah.
And replacing all the fluids because it's been sat for a few years. And the
okay.
guys start using it.
I should think she munches through clutches.
Yeah. The clutch is not very nice at the minute.
Oh,
so
is it?
Hopefully.
She weigh a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
What clutch are you going to put in it?
Sash Performance clutch.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's in there already. So we've ordered this Sash Performance clutch, hopefully.
Because it was built by Gembala back in, I think, the early 2000s.
Yeah.
This, when it was nearly new. I remember seeing the bill, it was like insane.
Yeah, because it's got a Mark II front end on it, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. But so anyway, you'll see this ripping around London at some point, I'm sure. And so the last room we're in is what we call the projects room. Generally speaking, it's where all the air-cooled Porsches live, and get some love from Chris over there in the corner. Always like coming in here because inevitably I learn something. There's some cool machines like the big old Cray 5 behind you here, but we've got 964 engine that's just come out of a car, which is going to have a refresh, so that'll be soon going into the engine room, so we can show you that one when it comes apart. This little 3.2 been in for a service and has got a fuel leak, I think, from one of the fuel lines, so that's being sorted. But if we come on over to the back of the room, we've got some interesting machines. 3.2 anniversary model, very rare car, that one. This car is really cool. It was recently sold on, I think, Collecting Cars. That's started life as a right-hand drive 993 RS, and back in the day, I think in the late 90s, it was built into this GT2 spec car. Have a look at those wheels. With a twin turbo engine for Liam Howlett from The Prodigy. And even spookier is that one of our engineers, before we actually existed, built the engine for it and had a photo of the engine that he built back in the day. So it's been bought in, the guy bought it off the auction website obviously, and it just needs some love to get it back in its best shape. And then we've got this 3.2 Targa, which has had a full suspension overhaul. It's actually gone on to KW suspension, which is really nice that you can put it on cars of this age. And we've got a 964 behind us, which is one of the anniversary wide body models and a cabriolet, and this is one of the 964s that's having an engine rebuild. This one's going with a standard 3.6 rather than a 3.8, and again we can show you some details of that. So that's our quick walk around. Hope you found that interesting. We'll see if we can do these once a week, and yeah, if there's anything in particular that I've shown you that you want to see more of, pop it in the comments and I'll do my best.